OpenAI has recently decided to stick to their name and open source their translation and transcription AI Whisper. So now it is under an MIT license, and that includes both the code that's here as well as the model weights that were used to train the AI. So if you wanted to go and try and make your own speech transcription AI with that data, you are free to do so. So this is an automatic speech recognition system that's been trained on 680,000 hours of multilingual data collected from the web. It's able to transcribe and translate several different languages. In fact, this picture here pretty much just explains it. So, it's able to take something like English audio and then transcribe that to English text. It's able to take Spanish audio and then transcribe that to English text, or it can do that for any number of different languages. And it's able to take the native language, like I think this is Korean here, and it's able to transcribe that into Korean text. So it's really useful for translating. This is a list of all the dozens of different languages they have that you can translate into English, or you can transcribe it into those native languages. But anyway, reading documentation is boring. You guys can do that on your own time. Let's get to installing it. So installing is very simple. If you have pip, you can simply, install it with pip. This command here will automatically pull down the latest data from the OpenAI Whisper GitHub. And because it uses Python, scripting with it is also really straightforward. You don't even really need to know how to code. So you could just import the module once you've installed it with pip. And then here we're defining what kind of model we want it to use. So by default, it's going to be using the base model. I'm pretty sure that this installs whenever you install this AI with pip, but you can download the larger ones if you have space. Of course, this large one, it looks like it takes up 1.5 gigs of space. So these larger models, they're more accurate, but they use more system resources, of course, storage space, but more importantly, VRAM. And yes, in case you haven't figured out already, this does require a graphics card to use. Maybe it's possible to run it on a CPU, but trust me, this is not the type of thing you want to run on a CPU. Not really any of these AI things. They really, really do much better when they have a lot of parallelization, and CPUs just can't compete with GPUs when it comes to that. So you'll want a graphics card, and I think ideally you're going to want an NVIDIA graphics card since this uses CUDA. But one small thing that I'll just say, since obviously using the larger models does take a whole lot longer, like as you can see from the relative speed here, but I have been using this on a GTX 1080 Ti, which pretty much just barely has the VRAM requirement. I think that card has 11 gigs of VRAM. And it hasn't been terrible. I mean, it is noticeably longer, but it's not even as long as like Stable Diffusion is. So if you guys are running more modern graphics cards than a 1080 Ti, especially one of the higher end ones, you should be totally fine with running this and not having to wait long periods of time, even if you're running the large model. But anyway, back to the script. So you define your model there, and then if you change it, it should just automatically download the bigger model. Audio, so here we're specifying the file that we're going to run it on, and that is Fly With Me by Frank Sinatra, so it should be pretty easy for this AI. And this is the command to transcribe that, and translate we're not going to be using since Frank Sinatra is in English. And then here, it's going to print out, just to standard output, the lyrics, essentially, since this is a song. So why don't we go ahead and run it? And of course, this is going to have background noise too, instruments and whatnot, since it's a song. All right. And just going to let it run in real time, because with bass, it should go pretty quick. All right, there we go. So this is, you guys can look up the lyrics if you don't know them by heart to this song, but this is pretty much correct. I'm just kind of skimming through it, and okay, I think like right here is the first mistake, right? So it's saying down to a Pogo Bay, and that's supposed to be like Acapulco Bay. But anyway, this is like I'll say maybe 98% correct, which is pretty good. I mean, it's kind of to be expected because this song, if you don't know it, you should definitely go listen to it because it's a classic. But Frank Sinatra is a really, really clear singer, you know, like the polar opposite of mumble rap. And they actually use his songs in a lot of English as a second language class because the lyrics are so basic and so easy to understand. So I guess it's not a really huge surprise that, you know, this OpenAI was able to translate or transcribe our boy Frank Sinatra. But let's give it something more difficult. So this is an interview with Popcorn Sutton. There's a little bit of background noise in this, but Popcorn Sutton is from Appalachia, which it's kind of like the East Coast mountain region of the United States, but it's an area where a lot of the people there don't really leave. Like, I think he's one of them where, you know, he hasn't really left that region, and he has a very unique accent as a result. A lot of the people there do. And in fact, their accent is so unique and so difficult for a lot of people to understand that you have not just Americans, but people that live in states like Virginia that Appalachia goes through, you know, just a few hundred miles away from these people, and even they can't understand them. So yeah, we're going to see how, I don't know if I can play audio of this. I think it might be copywritten, but we're going to see how good it does and maybe show the closed captions, because I believe this is, yeah, so it's not even auto-generated like whoever made this, I guess Sucker Punch Pictures wrote the closed captions, so we'll compare it to that. And let's just edit this real quick. And I believe, actually, that it is, yeah, Popcorn WebM. So we'll just do that. We'll run it again. And again, we're using the base model, so should run relatively quick. All right. And let's see, maybe I'll just shrink this down a little bit, and we'll kind of put it like this so that we can compare the transcriptions that they put in to this one. So this is the regular guy talking, and then this is Popcorn. So he said, been here all my life, got that part right. Let's see, so he's talking about Ghost Mountain on the backside of, on a place called Hemp Hill. So it kind of got the, kind of got his town name wrong, but I'd say that's close enough. All right, then here he's saying that it's better known as the asshole of the world. Here it said ice hole of the world. You could probably figure that out, right? If a human being was reading this, I think they would know he didn't say ice. All this is right so far. Yeah, it's right so far. And in case you're wondering, I'm not reading these, I'm listening to him talk, because I actually do have the ability to understand mountain folk. Yeah, so that part, the way he says tobacco, it really threw him off. You can even see that they took a little bit of... So he's saying tobacco. They're actually putting it out phonetically here. The AI has no idea what tobacco is, so it said tobacco. Of course, he's saying tobacco. Corn and taters, it got that part right. Yeah, stuff like that, and sold it. It's doing pretty good. So this AI actually did pretty good at transcribing Popcorn, but we're going to test it a little bit more. So we're going to see how good it does at transcribing him when he's driving his old, very noisy, rickety car. So there's going to be a lot of background in this one. And let me actually change this first. So I think it's, actually, I forget what I called this audio. Popcorn and car. Good thing I checked. All right, so we'll change that. Right, quit, and we'll go ahead and run this. And actually, I'm gonna let you guys see my GPU usage while I run it, just in case you're curious. Doesn't use a whole lot because, you know, it just spikes quickly. All right, and then I can tell it's done there. So let's see how well it translates him. Okay, so first part it got right. All right, so that one, it didn't get right. What was it? Worked up here for a woman. So she had a summer home back there in Paris, Texas. And somewhere home back out in the fire stacks. All right, so it has no idea. It did not get that at all. And it's messing up his town even more. It said Hempio instead of Hemphill. Yeah, so let's see. Got an old horse, started riding it. It's messing up a lot here. Okay, so here it's getting, I don't know, maybe like 80% or like 70, 75%. It's to the point where I think if you were reading this transcript, it would actually be kind of difficult for you to know what this guy's talking about. So why don't we stress out my poor little graphics card? This might actually crash because I think OBS is using the graphics card as well. Oh well. Run her again, and we'll see if she does a better job. And I'll just clear all this crap out of my screen, and I'll full screen this so you guys can see my poor little graphics card struggle under the weight of this Appalachian man's accent. There we go. There's the 100% usage. And OBS is lagging tremendously. My voice might sound robotic during this point. All right, so the spikes have finally fallen. It must be done. I guess we'll see in editing how bad that part is if I have to just like speed the whole thing up or whatever. So anyway, we'll just start from the beginning. See how much better it did. Looks like it got the Paris, Texas back, or the Paris, Texas part right now. It's all right so far. Yeah, it's right so far. Here, I'll do this. Sucker Punch better not give me any gruff for this, just so you guys can hear what this guy sounds like.
That happened sometime in 1980. I can't remember when.
Were you injured?
Yeah, it tore me all to hell. That four-wheeler hit the ground so hard it flattened all four tires on it when it landed. That's partly what's wrong with my back right now. It hurts all the time. That and old age, that don't help us a damn bit either.
Yeah, it's getting it all right so far. And you know, that's despite... I mostly did that so you guys could hear how loud his car is. Yeah, and he talks about his slingshots and his cobalt blue bottles. It's getting it all right.
Be worth a fortune. One of them cobalt blue bottles now, like we shot the slingshot, brings $10 or $12. Coca-Cola bottle brings $10 a piece.
And I mean, look, maybe some of you guys in the comments have no idea what he's saying either. I'm able to understand him probably because of all the time that I spent living in Southern Virginia. And, you know, I've talked to tons of guys like this. Not like necessarily moonshiners, but just guys that speak like he does with the same kind of accent. But I know a lot of people, especially some of my family that have been living in Boston their entire lives. They can't understand this man worth a damn, okay? He might as well be speaking a whole other language because they could not sit there and tell you hardly any third word of what he's saying. And yet this AI is doing it perfectly. Okay, so now another one that I wanted to try out was Ghost, Square Hammer. So this is another music example where it's fairly easy to understand the lyrics of this, but there's a whole lot more instruments. And I think that the instrumental track is about the same volume as the audio. I mean, it's a little bit quieter, of course, but it's going to be a lot harder to pick out audio or to pick out speech from this. And I actually already know that because I tested it on the with the basic one, and this was the results. So in case you guys know the lyrics to Square Hammer, I mean, it's a little bit more of a modern song and also a really good song. This is almost all wrong. So yeah, we're going to test it on Square Hammer with the large model. And let me see, where was it? Here it is. And we'll do it here. Okay, and we'll run this, and probably just gonna speed this up in the video editor. All right, so let's see how well this did with Square Hammer. And let me definitely make sure this is muted. All right, so it looks like, from my knowledge of the lyrics, it looks pretty much right at the beginning. Yeah, so it gets the very beginning wrong. That's pretty much right. Yeah, so far, all the lyrics are right. Despite all the, you know, drums and guitar in the background. And it pretty much got the chorus perfect. Second part of the chorus it gets wrong. It doesn't get the that. But then again, the that is so just kind of quick that it's kind of understandable why the AI would drop that off. So again, this is kind of in like the 90% of right, and it's definitely one of those things where if you just heard this song and you had the transcription, you could easily figure out like what parts are wrong, and then boom, you pretty much know the lyrics to the song. Okay, so now we're going to try some music where there's heavy effects on the vocals. Not exactly sure what effects Burgerchild is using here. Maybe he'll be able to tell us in the comments section. And this is actually music that I can play for you guys, because Burgerchild is too base to make a copyright claim. So we're going to put his song in there. We're going to do the large boy, and we're just going to run her again. And come back in a couple of minutes to compare it with... looks like we're going to be doing auto-generated lyrics. So we're going to actually do a test of this OpenAI to Google's proprietary bullshit that they use on YouTube. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's compare based AI to YouTube's AI. And here we go. Crank up the music.
You'll get all you need. That needs feed and seed. It's a mystery what this place used to be.
All right, so you'll get all you need. That's needs feed and seed. Both of them don't really seem to know what Burger is saying here. It's a mystery what this place used to be.
This store is more than just a funny sign. It's a place worth spending your time.
Wow, YouTube's AI didn't even try, and yet based AI got most of it right. This store is more, it's supposed to be a funny sign, but funny time. And it's a place, I believe the lyrics are worth spending your time, not where I'm spending your time. So, kind of got that wrong.
Get out, you city flicks. This place is run by Hicks.
And again, YouTube being lazy, not translating this part. Let's see. City Flicks, supposed to be City Slicks. This place is run by Hicks.
To get here, you must go far. In your fancy German car. We don't sell those, guess you're out of luck. Google Shark. That means we just got feed and seed.
So I'm just going to disqualify YouTube for laziness. It's not even trying. So, literally. Hold on, that music track is loud. Alright, so YouTube is disqualified for not actually trying to translate Burgerchild's lyrics. OpenAI, I'd say it got it maybe about 80% right. Okay, pretty good. And, oh yeah, we had the Breaking Bad one. I'm not going to show the video of that, or maybe I will. Let's see, I think it was the one where they were talking with Nacho and Don Eladio. Yeah, so this is in Spanish. And we'll translate that, or we'll put it in here. And we're gonna enable the translation. So this is gonna print it out both in Spanish and in English, and I'll let one of you guys tell me how accurately it does that. And yeah, let's go. Okay, so we got our transcriptions, and it actually does have subtitles done by, I don't know, I guess AMC. So these are actually going to be fairly accurate, and this isn't even on like an AMC YouTube channel. So I think this will be okay to put in the video. So let's see. I'd like to introduce you to Ignacio Varga. And he's our new man in the north. Okay, so yeah, that seems right. And it says he's not from Salamanca, but Salamanca is like his, or he's asking if he's from the Salamanca family, not like from Salamanca. So that part's a little bit off. Yeah, so that part looks like it got lost a little bit in the translation. He says, so you're still here. Yeah. It's not doing so great with the translation. Let's see. Let's talk. You and I. We'll get to know each other. Okay. Looks like that part was wrong. So it didn't translate that part, but I think it actually got it right. I know he said, "How is Tuco?" And he said something about him being in jail and something about gringos. So it looks like he got that part right. So this part, it looks like it might have messed up. Unless he actually asks him twice how you're going to make money. Yeah, he only asked him once. Varga's answer he got right. Yeah, so I mean, it's doing okay. You know, maybe around 70 to 75% accuracy. But again, it's having to also translate this, which you can just go and try out something like Google Translate, right? It's always going to make a lot of these grammatical errors like that. So I think all things considered, this is actually really impressive how good this AI is. Okay, so now we're going to do one final test. Let me find where my audio is. Here we go. There's also an MP4, so I guess a bit of a test on that kind of file type as well. And I will give you guys just a quick warning that the audio in this is a little bit based, so if that's going to offend your sensibilities, you might need to go back to TikTok. And let's do that. Okay, and I'm also going to change it to bass because this is English, but it's like Irish with an Irish accent, so I don't think it necessarily needs large. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how good it does with large because there's no background stuff, so it should be able to perform similarly well to the first Popcorn Sutton file. So we'll just go ahead and run transcribe, and that should work more or less instantly. All right, and we're gonna compare this audio, and I'll let you guys listen in as well.
Okay.
Where's your proof that you don't have the virus?
Where's my proof?
Yes.
That I don't have it?
Yes.
Where's your proof that you don't have it?
I don't have to prove to you. You're the one that stopped me. If you want to go along with this scam-demic,
I haven't stopped you. You have driven into a guarded checkpoint.
You have no right to be setting up checkpoints.
Okay, so it looks like it said a regarded checkpoint, but they're calling it Garda, which is like, I don't know, it's what people in the UK call cops.
Points.
Where are you going, sir?
None of your business now.
Well, actually, you're required.
I'm not required.
That part got messed up too. He's not a courier. They're telling him he's required to do some stuff.
Under our constitution to do.
And then I'm never quiet under a constitution. Yeah, so as the Irishman gets pissed, the AI becomes more confused.
Anything you say.
Where are you traveling to today, sir?
I am going to the hardware store to get supplies for my farm.
Okay.
Okay, and where are you traveling from?
My farm.
Where would that be, sir?
None of your business.
It actually is.
No, it's fucking not. We did not fight 800 years for you to start treating us worse than the British fucking army did. Did we?
Again,
Sir, if you just
British
answer the
or
question.
Irishman
Show
gets
me the
pissed,
pandemic.
AI gets confused.
Watch the news.
The fucking news! Are you having a laugh?
No.
RTE! What fucking news?
Well, there's other news. Do you not watch the BBC news?
Shite!
No.
The BBC?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So the Crown News?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
You
Crown
want me
News.
to watch the Crown News?
I mean, it's messing up like It's still like 90% accurate. Again, you can take this transcription and figure out very quickly what this is about. It's a very based man having a interaction with some of our, well, not our feds, UK feds. So yeah, this OpenAI, I'm very impressed with it. I think it's amazing, and it's open. This is all running locally on my computer with the graphics card. You don't even really need an internet connection to do this. So obviously all the privacy concerns that come with things like using Google Voice or Google Translate, they're kind of null and void now, right? I mean, you can use this. It's pretty much just as good, and it's not going to send any data about your translations over to Google. So try it out for yourself. Leave a like and a comment on this video to hack the algorithm, and have a great rest of your day.